Morning. It is a way back Wednesday. We're going way back using the Pointer Sisters song this morning. I think you all probably know the song. Pretty amazing. Unfortunately, it's an RIP to Bonnie Pointer, who passed away. So let me ask you one question. Are you excited?
I'm very excited. You know what? It's just the conversations that are happening with people, where we're at, what's going on. You know, even though we have to be careful still going back out into the world, it feels good to be moving again. Oh, Paul Rushton in the house.
So Paul Rushton, yes, I'm a fanboy, okay? I'm not really sure what that is, but I'll accept it because, you know, I love telling other people what I admire about them. I think it's a good quality. Good morning, Yvonne. Thank you for participating every day. Marvin Dietz is in the house. So, Marvin, I think your personal branding should be MD. The MD is in the house.
Nice.
Lloyd Gillick. And I think I like it. We are going to talk about some cool stuff today. I'm sure none of you know the word artiste, but we are going to explain the word artiste. Wasn't what was the basketball player? Ron Artest?
Ron Artest. Meta Peace. Free world.
Spears in the house. TV, Todd, way to go.
Nudelberg Nation. I love that, Todd. Thank you, sir. Todd will be there Friday. Todd will be at LinkedIn Like a Pro Friday.
Yes, he will. So we got a full house on Friday, which I'm super jacked about. People just, spending time getting better. The people who are coming in are all senior executives and above. They're all well-established people, who just want to understand and get better. And our commitment is that 2 hours, probably the best investment to understand who and what's going on in the world of sales, using LinkedIn as a tactic, not as a strategy. And it fits into my strategy. It fits into Mark's strategy. It's not the only thing we do. Scott Garber got a ton of love on the Nike branding story. You know what?
I want to shout out to Scott real quick because Scott and I are on weekly, and I'm coaching Scott just the way I coach other people that we work with. And we had an hour and a half. We went way past our stop, but we were diving into such really, really good stuff about how to grow personally. And he took our thing that we shared yesterday, shared it in his own way, got a ton of love on it. So he's taking what we're talking about, not only in the huddle, but what we're doing one-on-one coaching and really putting it into action. I'm proud of you, Scott. Great job.
Very, very nice. Way to go, Scotty. And that's a perfect example of the research that Mark and I do to create content for this, which you see is real content. Very flattering. Take it and run with it. Put it in your own world. Educate and feed the people that are following you. Build a following and see what happens. So we have some good stuff this morning for those of you who are interested in customer experience. We're going to use the word or the letters ARTES to sort of drill home.
And if you're not into customer experience, you should probably get out of business. Because
get out of town.
We're thinking about business. So.
Unbelievable. Good morning, Chaz Warrington. Thank you for being a supporter. Thank you for sharing the guy that's moving from Nashville. Really appreciate that. Good stuff. I'm excited for your growth individually. We were talking about you last night on one of our happy hours with a new client, and your name came up, and you are a shining example of how to take the training and run with it. And so I'm super proud of you. So let's jump in. Mark, you want to tee it up for me, or you want me to go? What do you want me to do?
Sure. Artest, so we're going ARTES, and the first one in the journey to create. Yeah, go ahead.
hold on. So background here, it's a strategy that was developed by Amazon. You guys ever hear of that company? You know, it's unbelievable. I think Jeff Bezos was worth $150 billion. I mean, this is a guy, local guy from North Miami that just hit the ball out of the park. This is on the wall in the Amazon offices. And, you know,
Five simple principles.
5 principles. So rock and roll.
Simple principles. And I think that's the key too, is keep it simple, right? I think as we get more and more into growing a business or in your business, you kind of get all over the place trying to do everything. Keep it simple. These are 5 very simple. And the first one is answer the question asked, which I love that because we talk about it all the time. A lot of times you're not really listening to what's happening. You already have what you want to say right there at the tip of your tongue, and you're just waiting for a pause to interject. So in order to answer the question asked, you have to actually be active listening. So how do you active listen? Something that I like to use that I think is a great way to do it is repeat the question that was asked to them so that the person that's talking to you says, okay, not only did they hear me, but they're able to give my question back to me to clarify it, to make sure that that's the thing we need to be talking about.
So here's an interesting thing about listening. It's one of the hardest skills for people to develop. Listening, if you understand, most people are already preparing in their head what the response is, and they don't even hear the question. So that's the reality. And here's a little takeaway sidebar. The word listen and the word silent have the same letters. So how about that?
Hello.
So, number 1. Number 2, another doozy that we use in our training. Use the word wait. Why am I talking? You know, so shut up, listen. And what for me this says is understand what the client wants. What problem do you need to solve? Because I think most people go off half-cocked, and they're, you know, that's where people feel like they're getting the runaround because you're not doing what they ask. So go ahead to number 2.
I love that. Number 2, reduce customer effort. And I want to shout out because you have a story about this from yesterday. I have a story about this. We had an accident with my computer. Some water leaked onto it, you know, hazards of working from the pool with your son.
Accident bullshit. You were by the pool during the day. That's what you did.
Apple made it so hard for me to figure out how to get my problem fixed. I didn't know if I needed to get it repaired, buy a new computer. I didn't know what to do. And the effort of trying to get somebody on the phone, I talked to 3 different customer service representatives, and nobody actually gave me any advice on what to do. They just gave me 7 options and said, which one do you want to do? So I called a local supplier, Mac Tech Pro, okay, James at Mac Tech Pro. I call him, they don't answer, they refer you to the website. I go to the website, I send an email, he fired right back, give me a serial number and what the problem is. I send it right back to him. I wake up the next morning at 5 o'clock from an email from him at 11:30 saying, I'll call you in the morning with what we need to get done. Here's my number so you know to answer. I answer the call. He tells me all the problems Apple's having with with supply chain problems. Doesn't take my business, tells me it's not a good idea for you to go to me. This is what you should do. And I go on, I get it fixed. I know exactly what I'm supposed to do, but I know that if I ever have an issue with any Apple product again, I'm going right back to James.
Love it.
So for my part.
I have a similar thing on my diet. They recommended that some of the products I have, I can put into a mini waffle maker. All right. So I belly up for the $12 to buy a mini waffle maker online. So it comes and it's broken. Wah, wah, wah. Big pain in the ass for me. I'm like, by the time I return it, whatever. So on Sunday, I said, hey, I'm going to run over to Bed Bath & Beyond. I'm going to Whole Foods anyway. I'll run into Bed Bath & Beyond. Well, first of all, the shopping experience everywhere now is really poor. They've just totally forgotten about the customer. So I walk in and I'm talking about this this thing that I have. What do I do with it? No direction, no nothing. I finally grabbed somebody, not physically, but get her attention. And it was like, she was like doing me a favor. I said, well, what do I do with this? I ordered it online. It's broken, whatever. She points to the long line of people who are waiting to pay. So I'm like, oh shit, I go on the back of the line. I wait, I get all the way to the front, get to the person, and I hand them and tell them my story. And they go, well, you got to go pick out your new product, the replacement. I'm like, what? And then I go back on the line. I'm like, seriously? So, reduce customer effort. I firmly believe it's about the experience. If you make it hard for people to do business with you, they will go somewhere else.
So here's ultimate validation. Eddie Dykes just said, need James's number, right? So because James took care of me, I'm going to refer him Eddie. There's the way, if you just treat people the right way and you do everything you can to deliver value and help, look at how it happens.
Oh, by the way, Eddie's the guy who gets it. Weston Jewelers. That's where I buy all of mine and Michelle's jewelry. That's the place to go because he makes it easy. And even better, number 3, because I'll jump into number 3.
I was hoping you would.
Treat every customer like a friend. The first time I met Eddie and his wife, boom, we became friends. So, that old saying of like, hey, would you go to, where do you get your tires? Oh, I got a guy. I got a guy. Well, you got a guy because that's a friend. I don't want to walk in like a schnook going, Kim Swears, I want to do something for my 60th on a boat. I'm talking to Kim Swears. She's a friend. If she doesn't direct me right, the world's really gone south. So
and think about how you treat your friends. Think about what you do for them, right? You empathize with them. You look to help them in any way possible. You're not only picking up the phone because you're trying to upsell them on a new product or you're trying to get new business from them, right? You just looking to help. Hey, what's going on? Is there anything I can do? What's the biggest things on your plate right now? How can I help you facilitate those things? And then, oh yeah, this is what we got going on. Do we need to change? Do whatever. Be true in your empathy and delivering value to them.
So the idea, and I think it's the number 1 rule of prospecting too, make everybody your friend. If you connect on a friendship level, that opens up the door to opportunity. Who knows what happens? Because I can guarantee you, if they don't like you as a friend, the chances of you doing business, gone.
Right.
Go to number 4, if you will.
I love it. So escalate systemic problems. And this to me is, I think you have to be an expert. And we talked about this yesterday, being an expert in what you do and knowing everything through and through. But 100% of the time, there is going to be a question that comes up that you're not quite sure about. You could probably bullshit your way through it if you're good enough to do it, but you shouldn't. Because if you pause there and say, you know what, that's a fantastic question. Let me pass this up the chain. Let me make sure that we have the best answer for that before we move forward and going there. That only creates more value in yourself and being transparent and being honest and being true and genuine and actually going to find the best answer than getting out in front of your skis and trying to bullshit your way through it and weed your way through it just so that you can feel like you had the answer for them.
So let me ask you this. Do you know when someone's bullshitting you? Does that radar go way up, okay, this guy's full of shit. He has no idea what he's talking about. He's just giving me the flax capacitor or something, whatever.
Exactly.
So clearly, nobody expects you to know everything. Everybody expects, or for me, I expect, and I'll turn that around, customer experience. I tell people right up front, I have no idea what's going to happen when we start working together. I don't know. I don't know what train wreck could happen, but I can promise you I'll fix it as if I was in your seat. That's the only thing I can take control over. And that's worked for me over and over in every business that I am currently involved in, that I've been in before. Listen, people didn't understand the phone business. They would come to me with some cockamamie shit, and I would go, all right, this one, I got to do the right thing here. So don't ask, boom, go.
Exactly. I love that. So pass it up the chain. And then the S stands for solve the problem, right? I mean, at the end of the day, it's about getting an answer to it. James at MacTech Pro solved my problem. He didn't do it himself. He didn't take the business, but he solved my problem. He gave me exactly what I needed to do, which created a raving fan out of me. So whatever it is that they're asking for, if you solve it for them, even if it doesn't lead to business right now, they'll eventually come back to you with something that they need solved that you'll be able to do yourself that will lead to business because they trust you, because they know that you're looking to help them.
So quick shout out to Skylar Milliken. We are working with your brother Cole, man. So
that's really cool.
we were reminiscing about Weston football. So all good stuff. Welcome aboard, Jimmy Pomerantz. Welcome aboard. Good to see you. So, this whole idea of customer experience, I want to give an example that I use in my training. Everybody knows the brand Toyota and everybody knows the brand Lexus. Well, they make a Lexus, Toyota makes a car called the Camry. Lexus makes a car called the 350 or something similar to that. It's the same exact car made in the same exact factory. You can buy a Camry for $19,000. They sell zillions of them. You can buy a Lexus for $38,000. Okay, so wait a minute. It's the same car. Why would people pay double for essentially the same car? There might be some little frills, but basically the same car. Most people go, well, brand and, ego and, all of that kind of crap. And the answer is, when I do it in a big forum, is so great because nobody gets it. So when you go buy a Toyota, and there's nothing wrong with this. There's nothing wrong with this. When you go buy a Toyota, you walk in and you say you want to buy the car, you buy the car, and they tell you to get your ass out of there. See ya, bye. Here's some popcorn and go. Well, you go to Lexus, the entire experience is different at Lexus. They'll take care of your dog, do your nails, give you a massage. You can use it as your office all day. They have lattes. They do all of the things, most specifically, and this is where Lexus won market share. I used to drive a Mercedes, and I remember bringing the car to Mercedes, and they said, "Oh, sorry, Steve, you got a problem." I go, "Okay, well, what are you going to do?" He goes, "Well, we need to keep the car for a couple of days." A couple of days, okay, good. You're going to give me a car? No. Well, what? I spent $100,000 on a car, and you're not going to give me a car? And then I heard someone else say, well, wait a minute, Lexus, you buy a car at Lexus, they give you a Lexus loaner. Done. I sold my Mercedes. I walked over to the Lexus dealership, so it is the experience, number one, really, really significant. And here's the best part. Here's the real crusher for today. The expectation of an experience. When you go to a hotel like the Ritz, that's a spell. Oh, I'm going to the Ritz. Saturday night, it's my birthday. I'm going to the Ritz. You expect 5-star service. You expect white glove. Nobody's bragging that they're going to the Holiday Inn. Nobody's saying, so a Holiday Inn is a bed, a shower, and a place to hang your clothes. Same thing you get at essentially the same thing you get at a Ritz, but so I love it's all about the experience.
Like sushi in Florida. Like Sushi Sogo in Cooper City compared to going to Nobu, it's fish, right? And it's wrapped in rice, right? It's going in wasabi, it's going in soy. But when I go to Nobu or think about going to Nobu, there's an experience involved. The waiter, the water, everything. I have an expectation, as opposed to if I think, all right, I'm going to go to Sushi Sogo over in Cooper City. I know that the sushi is going to be relatively the same, but the experience is going to make it taste and feel different.
Yeah, it plays itself. So my challenge to you today, as you go in your daily life, no matter if it's online or offline, grade the experience, and then do one step further. Have somebody shop you, someone you know and like. Have them shop your service, not with you, and have them be absolutely candid with you about what that experience is like. If you change your experience and focus on the customer, it's the first step to jumping the hurdles. So thank you for being with us. Great stuff today. Lots of new people. Tell your friends we're here every morning giving nuggets, as Greg Goldstein would say, noodle nuggets. But this is stuff that I've learned over my 40 plus years of being in sales. I shared them with Mark throughout his career. He took them to coaching. Now he's taking everything, wrapping it back and bringing it to us. If you want to have an offline conversation with us, please do. We're all about virtual coffees and building relationships and making friends. So signing off, my boy.
Have a great day. Winning Wednesday.
That's awesome, man. Let's go. I'm so excited.